Welcome to Technology Review. In today's deep dive, we're turning a spotlight on Apple's 2026 roadmap. What we've seen so far suggests a brand that's embracing change, stepping beyond its premium comfort zone, and experimenting boldly. From more affordable Macs and foldable iPhones to smart glasses and next-gen home hubs, Apple's strategy appears to be evolving. In this video, I'll walk you through everything we know: the budget device shift, the strategic partnerships, the experimental hardware, and what it all means for users, the ecosystem, and the future. Let's begin with the first major trend: budget. Historically, Apple has been synonymous with high price, high margin, luxury tech. The term Apple tax was coined for a reason. But now the narrative is changing. In recent years, we have seen Apple offer more value-driven hardware: a more affordable iPad, the Apple Watch SE, the AirTag, all devices that retained much of the brand's polish while trimming cost. The momentum appears to continue into 2026. According to multiple supply chain reports, there is a successor to the E line of iPhones, the iPhone 17e, offering many premium features at a lower entry price. We're hearing of a second-generation AirTag priced around $30, a lower-cost version of AirPods SE, and even a streaming stick variant of Apple TV that brings the full Apple ecosystem into the living room at a much lower cost than before. There's also talk of a restoration of the MacBook name, a full Apple Silicon MacBook built for entry-level users, with pricing around $500 to $600, delivering the Mac experience without the MacBook Pro price tag. These moves may seem out of character for Apple, but they make strategic sense. By widening the funnel of entry devices, Apple can draw in more users into its ecosystem and convert them over time into higher-tier hardware and services. The second pillar of Apple's 2026 strategy is partnerships. Apple has long prized vertical integration, designing its own chips, its own hardware, its ecosystem of services. Yet recent leaks suggest Apple may soften that stance and collaborate more deeply with external technology leaders. Consider Apple Intelligence and Siri, both of which have struggled to fulfill the vision Apple originally promised. According to multiple analyst notes, Apple is in talks to layer Google's Gemini AI engine or perhaps other generative AI platforms underneath Apple's front end. This would represent a dramatic pivot, tacitly acknowledging that in some domains Apple may benefit more from alliance than solo effort. The pattern is similar in hardware. Apple may partner with external VR/AR specialists, sensor makers, or robotics firms in order to accelerate progress into smart glasses, home robotics, and next-gen audio/visual systems. The implication is an Apple that remains design-led and experience-focused, but less isolated in its technology stack. And third, the most exciting category: experimental hardware. The 2026 calendar appears to include devices that until very recently would have seemed un-Apple-like. First and most prominent is the much-anticipated foldable iPhone. Multiple supply chain briefs place this device in a 2026 or late 2025 window, though some worry delays may push it into early 2027. Rumored screen sizes include a 5.38-inch outer display and a 7.58-inch inner foldable display, pointing to a book-style design rather than a flip phone form. If Apple succeeds in building a creaseless display, premium cameras, and its signature reliability into a foldable form, it could redefine the smartphone category. Next are smart glasses. Bloomberg reports suggest Apple is actively preparing a glasses product for 2026, aimed at extended reality, lightweight form factors, and another entry into wearables. Then we have the home sphere, whispers of a HomePod with screen, smart locks, and thermostats branded by Apple, and a full-blown smart home hub that acts as the central nervous system for home automation and media. Taken together, the experimental category signals Apple is no longer just iterating iPhones and Macs. It is branching into adjacent categories, challenging itself and the market. Breaking each of these out into more detail, starting again with budget hardware, when we talk about value devices we must look beyond just lower cost. For Apple, the challenge is delivering something affordable without diluting the brand. The rumors suggest Apple plans to keep design and materials premium, while reducing cost in modules, customization, and variant complexity. For example, the rumored iPhone 17e might share many internals with the standard iPhone 17 at lower price, but it might lack some premium finishes or camera features to hit a lower cost point. The $30 AirTag 2 upgrade may leverage existing Find My infrastructure while reducing components or simplifying casing. The streaming stick variant of Apple TV may bring the full tvOS experience but eliminate the set-top box fan cooling challenge and premium metal chassis, substituting a compact stick design. And a sub-$600 MacBook built on Apple Silicon may use a thinner aluminum chassis, fewer ports, and simplified cooling to bring Mac performance to students, casual users, and first-time Mac buyers. The strategic play here is clear: reduce barriers to entry, bring more people into the ecosystem, raise lifetime value through services, and capture growth in markets where price sensitivity remains high. Now let's dig into Apple's partnership strategy. Historically, Apple kept key technologies in-house. But recent AI setbacks and the complexity of building in every domain are driving a collaborative mindset. Imagine your iPhone Siri powered by Google Gemini, but packaged in Apple's front-end, design, and privacy-first architecture. That's the sort of hybrid model being discussed. Apple already has an OpenAI connection, but the rumors are more specific: testing in Google Gemini and other generative AI models. On the hardware side, collaboration may involve sensor makers for foldables, hinge specialists, display suppliers, and even robotics labs for home devices. This shift allows Apple to accelerate time to market and reduce risk, while still commanding the user experience. In this way, Apple could remain the premium orchestrator of hardware and software, while letting partners supply domain-specific innovation. For users, this could mean a Mac built in partnership with another compute vendor, a HomePod backed by a specialist audio firm, or a foldable iPhone leveraging a hinge technology developed outside Apple. The important thing: Apple doesn't have to do everything alone. Turning to experimental hardware, and the foldable iPhone in particular. The signs point to a book-style foldable iPhone in late 2026, possibly coinciding with the iPhone 18 series. Supply chain notes suggest display sizes around 5.38 inches exterior and up to 7.58 inches interior. The challenge for Apple is hinge durability, crease minimization, battery life, thermal management, and mass volume production reliability. Reports caution that delays of this device into 2027 are possible if any of those systems underdeliver. But if Apple succeeds, it could create a new iPhone category that extends the life of the iPhone upgrade cycle, reignites consumer excitement, and positions Apple ahead of foldable native competitors. On the smart glasses front, Apple appears to be combining its AR/VR experiments with consumer form factors.